In this video I'm going to be looking at the Stairrods Reducer from the Ali range. The reducer I'm going to be working with is the 1mm version, which is designed for rigid tile, SPCs, WPCs with a peelable surface. This one, it gives it a nice discreet finish throughout. The reducers are available in 4 colours and come in lengths of 1.8 metres, and you've got different bars with 8 different options. You've got a 2 to 3mm drop, 4 to 5mm drop, 6 to 7mm drop and an 8 to 9mm drop. The reducer works by putting up to the higher point, and then this side will reduce down. If there's a slight gap, just like on this one here, if I turn the bar around, I've got an elongated edge there which will bring it down further. The bars actually come pre-taped with a contact adhesive tape on the surface, which is plasticized migration and resistant to excessive heat. And it also comes with a foam double-sided tape on the reverse, which is resistant to excessive heat and moisture as well. To determine which height I need to be working with, I take a piece of the flooring which I'm fitting on the lower level up against the higher level, just using the Stairrods drop checker. I can adjust that down, and that's telling me I need a 5mm drop, so the 4 to 5mm profile is ideal. To determine the size of the inlay required, if I take a piece of paper felt, cut that to the exact size. If I take the measurement straight through where I've got the curvature, that's actually adjusting the size. Sizes are also available in the price list. Just to be certain, I like to double check. So there's my inlay size. I'll just put a couple of arrows on there to know which way it's actually going. The next stage is to take an off-cut of flooring, use a bit of masking tape on either end. I'm using my template piece. Bring that up to the edge. Just put a mark this side. Same again the other side. Once I've got those marks on there, I can take the straight edge and just line up. As we're using an SPC, we only really need to cut through the wear layer itself. So you're only looking at around about 1 millimetre. Just double check. Get the pliers in and just start easing the edge. Sometimes get a bit of damage on the end, so always cut it just slightly oversized, and then peel the surface layer off. By using the flooring itself, it's going to give me 100% match to whatever I'm working with. As we do take it off, it can leave a slight distortion. We can see there it's wanting to roll up, and sometimes it can actually give it a bit of a curvature through there. So 2 ways of dealing with it. One, the back roll and set it aside. could put a bit of tape on there, put it to one side and then come back to it once it's relaxed. Alternatively, I can actually apply a bit of heat to it. And you'll see it start to straighten off. Be careful how much heat you do put to it, as it is going to expand the product. So you do need to let it cool down. Now this one's not actually too bad. Some of the ones we've tested do curl up quite a lot. And then just leave that to cool off for a bit. Once that's cooled off, I'll just double check, make sure it's okay. You can always do this beforehand. Now with the reducer itself, this is for demo purposes, so I've actually got 2 rows of tape on here, but they do come pre-taped with the correct tape. I can peel the surface off. One of the things to really consider with this is any contamination. If you get contamination on the tape, then it's going to lose its adhesion. So that's the tape removed. This is what I'll do, I'll feed it into one side first, making sure I'm right up against the edge of the track. Not stretching the material, just pushing it onto the tape itself. Give a bit of pressure along that edge. And then feed it onto the tape on the bottom edge. All depends on what you're using. Some products can actually have a chalky residue once you take the top layer off. If that happens, then a panel wipe or a glue wipe or even a damp cloth just to take away any residue, because that will actually impede adhesion of the inlay onto the contact tape. So that inlay's installed. I'll take the back of the knife, give it a bit of pressure, just acting as a roller. So we can see here we've got the same flooring going in, but we've got 2 different heights between, could be adjacent rooms, in doorways, any area really. But with this, obviously we can't put a flat bar on there, so this would just basically disguise itself within the floor but still give it a nice aesthetic appearance with a tram line. So if it was a stick down job, then I'll be using dry back LVTs and the 3mm reducer, but as this is designed for rigid tiles, floating floors, we do need to leave an expansion gap. I just place that, allowing for an expansion, and again just double check the profile itself, make sure I've got the correct drop. So if we see there again, we've got a little bit of movement there just because it's the mock-up table, but in reality that's a little bit shy. I'll turn it back the other way, and that's then giving me my 5mm drop down to that point. So as mentioned before, we do have the affixing tape on the reverse, which is moisture resistant and heat resistant. However, we need to be sticking to a surface that is free of contaminations and debris. So you could just give this a wipe with a damp cloth, again, or a glue wipe. Just make sure you've got all the residue removed and it's dry to the touch. We can now remove the protective topping, Again, always be careful with contamination. And this does have an instant grab. So place it where it needs to be. Bit of pressure, it will build up strength over time. But you can see there that's holding straight away. Now this is designed for floating floors. So this floor is free to float both ways, and this side again as a floating floor, it can move over the top of this one. However, when you stick it, always make sure that you're allowing for expansion gaps around door frames, door checks, anything that's going to cause a bit of resistance. So there we have 100% colour match profile, nice discreet tramline finish, and very, very durable as well. That's it for the garage sessions.